Hi everybody, it's Tanya here from Meraki Coaching, here with your weekly update on where all the energy is at for the week beginning Monday the 17th of February. And now it's quite an interesting week. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a week for going inwards and reflecting on things, and that is mainly because Mercury turns retrograde on the 17th. So for the next 3 weeks, it is a time for us to reflect, renew, revitalize, rethink, reignite. Any word beginning with re is pretty much um, your recipe. I should say for the next few weeks. In this busy world that we live, we often find it hard to stop and reflect. Is another re word. And so rather than be fearful of Mercury retrogrades, as a lot of people are, use them as a time to just have a little retreat into yourself. And you'll find that you actually have a smoother Mercury retrograde period when you do that, when you're not trying to fight against the energy. It's when we're trying to go against the grain, is when we come up against blocks. So, give yourself this time and space to go within, and being in the sign of Pisces, which is all about subconscious and the collective consciousness. It is a really good time to step away from our thinking minds into our feeling minds, into our hearts, and to follow our emotions and follow what feels good to us. Mercury begins its retrograde about 5 degrees away from Neptune, which is the ruler of Pisces, but they do say that Neptune is the higher mind and Mercury is the lower mind. So Mercury is like our thinking mind here, but Neptune represents our connection to spirit and to the divine as well. So it is a chance for us to connect both parts of ourselves and to make sure that we're acting in a way that reflects what our higher self wants and that we're on the right path. So it can be a really beautiful retrograde when you drop into that, have regular meditation, make sure you move your body so you stay grounded, and hopefully you can get through the next few weeks relatively unscathed by some of the Mercury retrograde, traits that tend to happen, like technology failing, etc., etc. Just roll with it, and just go within and try and get a little bit wiser during this period. The other thing that's happening on Monday is that Mars is moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn, and he's quite happy in Capricorn because Capricorn's all about drive and ambition, and Mars likes to get stuff done. So it'll help give us a bit of focus to move forward and to take the steps that we need to take towards whatever we're working towards. But because this is in conjunction with a Mercury retrograde, and especially a Mercury retrograde in Pisces, I feel like this is a really big reminder that we need to be acting out of service to others and not out of ego. So if we are working towards something because we want the status that it brings us, or because it's going to bring us lots of money for whatever reason, or like anything that's coming from that space of just greed in a way, or ruthless ambition, you're going to come up against blocks. So this is a really big reminder for us to make sure that we're acting out of service to others, and that what we are doing is actually helping the collective and the greater good. So there's nothing wrong with money. Money is great and wonderful, but if you are just accumulating money for the sake of it and not using that to help others, then you might actually come across different blocks and things that will cause you to rethink that side of yourself. So it is that thing of like, how can I just keep giving back? How is the work that I'm doing helping me to give back to the community? So keep that in mind as we work through things. Now I'll just show you the chart so you can see what they look like. So this is Monday. We have Mars right here in Capricorn. Mercury's turned retrograde. And the sun is in the last degrees of Aquarius. And another beautiful thing for Monday is that the moon will be trining Venus. So a connection to our values here, and to have a reminder of the fire underneath us as we work toward our values. There isn't much. This is Tuesday, Wednesday. Things are relatively the same. The moon obviously is moving because it has been about 2 days a month in each sign. So Wednesday, the moon will meet up with its south node, and this might bring up some emotions from the past or remind us of how we've done things in the past. And it is a chance for us to reflect on it all and get some inspiration from the last degree of the sun in Aquarius before we float into Thursday, which is when the sun moves into Pisces. So we have a lot of Piscean energy, a lot of opportunity to tap into that collective consciousness, and you've got Mars, which is slowly like heading this lovely trine over to Uranus in Taurus. And this is going to help us think about how we've done things in the past, what worked and what didn't, and help us to shape a new way of actually going about doing things and getting things done. So like I said, it's acting from a space of generosity and service rather than a space of ego. So I feel like that's just going to be like a really big theme this week. And especially as we head towards the new moon, or the dark moon as people call it, we will get a little bit more reflective. So you might find yourself by the end of the week wanting some space and wanting some internal time, and a little bit of solitude from the world. So, that's fine. That's normal. Give yourself what you need for it. There's also going to be on... what have we got here? We're now heading into Friday. So that's when the moon and Uranus are really going to have this like perfect trine. Mars and Uranus, and then the moon's heading into Aquarius. So again, reminding us of how we can serve the collective and serve the greater good. And then heading into the weekend, we've actually got this is the chart for the new moon as it is on Melbourne time. So it'll be happening at 2:32 a.m. on the 24th, so early Monday morning. But if you're in other parts of the world, it will be happening for you on Sunday. And so you can see we have a lot of earth in Capricorn and a lot of water in Pisces. And earth being a very grounded, practical sign, water being a very a sign which is connected to our emotional body. It's reminding us it's actually filling in the cracks, because earth can get very dry, and we need rain so things can grow. So this balance of earth and water at this new moon, I feel, is helping us to to feed and to give what we've planted in the earth some water to help seed it and help it to grow, especially as Mars is starting to make its time in Capricorn. It's got about 6 weeks in Capricorn. So it's giving us some water so we can actually start to move through it. We've also got Venus happening here in Aries, and she's got a square over to Jupiter. And so it is a bit of tension, I feel, about how can we be ourselves and expand within ourselves, but also do things that help others and help the world. And it's honoring ourselves, honoring others. There might be a bit of tension between that. We've also got this cross here with the nodes and Mars to Chiron. So it's what we've learned, what we have here to teach. Where are we going? How are we going to do that? And the best way, I feel, to release this tension is because there's actually no planets in air signs on this day of the new moon. So we really need to try and release the tension by turning our thoughts to Libra, to the air sign, on how we can create balance between all the different parts of ourselves. You might not get the answers straight away, but it's a new way of thinking and a new way of actually going about how you work a different way of going forward, of moving forward. And I feel like the world is naturally doing that and trying to work it out. So again, it's that think global, act local type of philosophy. So think about how you can do it within yourself and within your own community, and then the ripples will spread, and then we can actually start to see a world where we are all acting in a way that serves each other, as well as keeping ourselves really happy and grounded and rooted to ourselves. So it's a process. The answers won't come in the next week, month, year, but it is the start of a process for us all in what we're doing and how we're acting and how we're being of service. So I hope that helps you this week. So yeah, reflection time. Ask yourself, you know, if things are just, you're coming up against all those blocks and all those, you know, things aren't working out for you. Ask yourself, is this, am I acting out of ego? Am I acting for the greater good? How can I switch my focus? How can I change things up? To then try and find yourself an easier path, an easier way of flow. And yeah, meditate, exercise, stay grounded in your body. That will help you through this retrograde period and beyond. But I think it's going to be a really nice week. Just take it easy, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I will have a new moon intention setting happening next Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. Australian time. So come and join me where you can take a look at the new moon chart in more detail and set your intentions going forward. Apart from that, I don't think I've got much else to say or much else coming up. No. So have a good week and I'll chat to you soon. Mwah.